Iran's cash bonanza begins? Reports claim the first tranche of frozen funds has already started reaching Tehran under broader understanding. First part of frozen funds reaches Tehran, with Iranian and regional reports pointing to an initial transfer of roughly $3 billion. Trump's Arab ally secretly pumps funds into Iran amid deal talks? Reports of a UAE-linked transfer have surfaced. Iranian media reports a $3 billion transfer as Europe and regional powers position themselves for a possible post-deal reset with Tehran. First tranche of frozen funds has already reached Tehran, Iranian media claimed on June 15, amid reports of progress linked to the emerging diplomatic process. Iranian outlet Khabar Fori reported an initial $3 billion funds transfer to Tehran, describing it as the first installment of a broader arrangement. Funds were part of a U.S.-Iran understanding, despite denials from U.S. and Abu Dhabi officials, according to the report. The outlet said a private Emirati aircraft landed at Tehran's Mehrabad airport on June 8 as part of the reported transfer. Cited flight tracking data showed a Boeing 737-7JZ BBJ that flew from Abu Dhabi to Tehran during the period in question. The aircraft bypassed regional flight restrictions before reaching Iran, according to claims published by Khabar Fori. According to the outlet, the UAE could eventually release between $10 billion and $20 billion in Iranian assets under the reported arrangement. The reported $3 billion transfer was described as the first installment of the Iran-UAE understanding, with additional transfers potentially following. Neither Washington nor Abu Dhabi has publicly confirmed the existence of such a transfer, leaving the claims unverified. Europe has signaled sanctions relief as the U.S.-Iran deal triggers expectations of a new economic opening across the region. Britain, France, Germany, and Italy have said they are prepared to lift sanctions on Iran if agreed conditions are met. The four European powers linked any sanctions relief to concrete steps addressing concerns over Iran's nuclear program. The reported statement followed the agreement between Washington and Tehran aimed at ending the recent conflict. London, Paris, Berlin, and Rome welcomed the diplomatic breakthrough in a joint statement issued after the deal. They reiterated their long-standing position that Iran must never be allowed to acquire a nuclear weapon. The four countries said they are ready to work with the U.S., Iran, and the IAEA to advance the process. The next round of negotiations is expected to focus on nuclear obligations, inspections, and verification measures. The U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding is expected to serve as the basis for those future negotiations. The U.S. war with Iran appears to be ending after months of regional fire and widening confrontation. Iran says it has confirmed a U.S. memorandum, with the regional war now set to end immediately. Tehran says all fronts will soon fall silent, in what it calls a step toward restoring regional stability. Peace appears to prevail as Iran's Security Council declares an immediate end to the war. Hormuz is set to reopen and the U.S. blockade on Iran may end, raising hopes of more stable oil prices. Mujtaba has reportedly set June 19 as the date for the formal signing of the war-ending deal with the U.S. Trump hails the Iran deal and says the Strait of Hormuz will reopen on Friday. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "This great deal will bring peace and security to the whole region. Many presidents have tried to make peace with Iran, and all have failed before me. The leaders of the region have, for the first time, found a president who can help them achieve real peace. With the opening of the strait upon the signing of the deal on Friday, for purposes of mine removal, oil will flow on both ends again for the region and the world." Unquote. The official signing ceremony will be held in Switzerland, Pakistan's Prime Minister said. Shehbaz Sharif said, and I quote, "Following intensive talks, we are pleased to announce that the peace deal between the United States of America and Islamic Republic of Iran has been reached. Both sides have declared the immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon. The official signing ceremony will be on Friday, the 19th of June in Switzerland. We would like to thank the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran for their commitment to finding a diplomatic solution to the conflict. We would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to our brothers in this mediation effort, the great leadership of State of Qatar, for their support in reaching this agreement. I would also especially thank the visionary leadership of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Republic of Turkey for their immense contributions in this regard. With the agreement now in place, Mediators will facilitate a series of meetings this week. These pre-implementation discussions will lay the foundation for the technical talks and the official signing ceremony." Unquote. The UN chief has also hailed the agreement between the United States and Iran. Iran's state-affiliated Mehr News has published what it says is a 14-point draft agreement outlining a potential framework for a U.S. Iran deal. According to Mehr, the reported draft begins with an immediate and permanent end to military operations across multiple fronts in the region. The United States would pledge not to interfere in Iran's internal affairs under the reported framework. Washington would formally recognize and respect the sovereignty of the Islamic Republic. The U.S. would lift its maritime blockade measures within 30 days of the agreement taking effect. American forces deployed around Iran's periphery would be withdrawn as part of the proposed arrangement. The Strait of Hormuz would reopen under security and transit arrangements coordinated by Iran. The draft also reportedly includes the release of $24 billion in frozen Iranian funds. These assets would be unlocked during a 60-day negotiation and implementation period. Half of the funds would reportedly become available to Tehran before formal talks begin. The reported concessions would represent a major economic lifeline for sanctions-hit Iran if implemented.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.